He's not even in my fucking league. Like, put somebody else on me, because he's trash.
Here's what NBA players actually think about Jayson Tatum. And what LeBron said about him went so viral, it became Tatum's new nickname. During the 2018 playoffs, LeBron found out Tatum ain't the little kid he used to be. Because Tatum unleashed the biggest play of his career on LeBron. And you'd think LeBron would be salty. But what he said after the game let the world know Tatum was next up.
With Jayson, I just love everything about the kid, the way he plays the game, his demeanor, and I just know he's built for stardom.
Now, getting praised by a GOAT was already one of Tatum's biggest accomplishments. But once Tatum became an NBA superstar, LeBron crowned him with a nickname. During a Lakers vs. Celtics matchup, Tatum took over, dropping 41 points. And afterwards, LeBron was so impressed, he just had to post about it, saying, "That boy to the left of me is an absolute problem. Keep going, young king." And that post went so viral, the problem became Tatum's nickname. But LeBron's not the only superstar who's closely watching Tatum. Players all around the league, even NBA legends, have a lot to say about Tatum. But not everybody has something good to say. Bam Adebayo makes sure every single year he reminds Tatum who daddy is. Cause a few years ago, Tatum tried to humiliate Bam, and well,
working against Butler, got downhill, couldn't punch it, Bam says get it out of here!
Bam single-handedly embarrassed him. That became the best play of Bam's career. But winning that playoff game wasn't enough. Every time the anniversary of that play comes around, he just has to let Tatum know what's good.
I'm petty. So the first thing in my mind was like, oh, I'm gonna talk my shit to him. Every year I send him the anniversary picture, like, dog, happy anniversary, man. Like, you know, I appreciate you. Like,
Damn, Bam, that's cold. But it's definitely not as crazy as what Kevin Durant said about Tatum. Cause what he said about him has me thinking Tatum might be the next GOAT. Now, honestly, I thought KD would hate him. I mean, Tatum's literally dropped 50-point games on KD's forehead, swept him in the playoffs, and embarrassed him so badly, NBA legends think Tatum's better than him. But for the first time ever, KD didn't try to defend himself on a burner. In fact, not only did KD tell Tatum he was a future Hall of Famer, KD thinks Tatum will end up one of the greatest ever.
I started to tally mark, the matchups.
Yeah.
I'm like, I had series against Kobe, LeBron, Tim Duncan. Jayson Tatum is in that conversation now because he's that elite level of player already at 23, and I'm like, all right, I can see where this going. It was an honor to play against him.
Damn, an MVP, two-time champion, and one of the greatest scorers in NBA history is saying it was an honor to play against a 23-year-old? That's how you know Tatum's something special. But something you didn't know is that Damian Lillard's comment on Tatum has him facing a $50,000 fine. After Tatum destroyed the Blazers, dropping 33 points, a reporter asked Lillard what he thought about Tatum.
You know, I see his training videos. I know he works on this game. And when you put all those things together, you get to moments like tonight where we down one, take a shot that I was comfortable with and I miss, and he comes down and makes his. That shows the growth, and the level of player he is. You got to give credit to him and his growth as a player.
But after Lillard praised Tatum, fans began speculating that this was more than just a compliment. It was tampering. Headlines exploded that Tatum and Lillard stayed in contact. So people started to think Lillard was recruiting Tatum to the Blazers. Right after news broke, the two even teamed up in the Olympics. And recently, Lillard couldn't help but tweet about Tatum's playoff performances. So NBA Twitter went to work, photoshopping the two players as teammates. But keep in mind, NBA players aren't allowed to discuss potential moves while under contract. And we've seen fines happen to players who violate the tampering rule. So if Lillard's secret conversations and praise for Tatum are more than what it seems, Lillard could face a $50,000 fine just for talking about Tatum. But at least nobody got humiliated for that conversation, because what Paul George said about Tatum came after Tatum almost ended his career.
Tatum drives, George right there, Tatum gets a wide open look and knocks it down!
Oh my god, Tatum damn near made Paul George play Twister. I already know George was out there somewhere saying,
Yeah, that's a bad shot.
But in public, he laughed it off and let the world know he expects Tatum to keep humiliating him.
This wasn't the first time I was on the Tatum highlights, so it won't be the last, I'm sure. But he's special, man. He's a special talent.
Now, at least Paul George has only dealt with Tatum for a couple years. Bradley Beal's had to deal with Tatum his entire life.
We grew up together, so we both went to the same high school. Moms knew each other. I would always tell Jayson when he was younger, you're going to be a million times better than me. And to see it happening as fast as it is really crazy.
Now, Beal's seen Tatum's potential for decades, but after Beal saw what Tatum accomplished this season, he thinks Tatum will become a face of the NBA. Beal admires Tatum's talent and his confidence on the court. And the funny thing is, Beal's the one that created this beast. Yeah, when Tatum was a kid, Beal told him, go be the best player to touch a basketball. And well, not only did Tatum listen, he also subscribed to HoopFlix. Yeah, that's how he turned into a superstar. So aren't you trying to be like Tatum? Come on, man, subscribe. Anyways, that's just what some of today's NBA players think of Tatum. But what about NBA legends? Well, Tatum let Twitter know that even Allen Iverson's a fan of him. And I believe it, because anytime AI's asked about the best players in today's league, he always mentions Tatum.
Jayson Tatum. Dog.
Killer. He got a lot of Kobe in him too.
Yeah, you can tell he was working with
Kobe in him.
But AI's not the only legend who thinks Tatum's one of the best. Jay Williams hopped on live TV and not only ranted about how underrated Tatum is, Jay compared Tatum to Kobe Bryant and said the Lakers should make a trade.
And as much as we talk about Ja Morant, as much as we talk about Luka Doncic, as much as we talk about all these young players that are going to be the face of the league, we don't really mention the name Jayson Tatum anymore. And it's been blowing my mind because last night for him to have 54, like he reminds me so much of Kobe. That's why when we talk about what kind of trades should the Lakers make or try to go for, I'm not saying the Boston Celtics will ever go for it, but there's so much of that. His game is just built to be one of the best.
Now, I agree that players like Ja Morant, Luka Doncic, and Giannis deserve their shine. They're all players that can be the best. But Tatum's name has to be thrown in the mix. And if he hasn't proved it up to this point in his career, he's definitely proving it in the playoffs. And now facing one of the toughest defenders in the league, Jimmy Butler, there's been a lot of talk that Tatum's still not on his level. But what did Jimmy say? Well,
nah, he's one of the best in the game right now. As much attention as he draws on the offensive end. And then I think what's really impressive is the way that he's picked up his defensive intensity. You gotta tip your hat to that. You respect him. I think those are the guys that you wanna go up against.
So it looks like players around the league are finally realizing Tatum's a superstar. And it makes sense why he's making over $163 million. But haven't you ever wondered what NBA stars like Tatum are spending all that money on? One player spent $10 million just to annoy Michael Jordan. Another player bought something that has him facing 20 years in jail. And I know you want to hear more about that. So just click this video right here.